Okay. Yeah. So this round's on me. It's been a year since our last.
Has it been a year?
Oh shit.
I thought it was summer last year.
9 months. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since our last one.
Yeah.
Mostly because
PQ season is right before Worlds.
PQ season's right before Worlds, and also we don't have enough famous people in our area to really warrant this. But hey, we have a bunch of RTN winners. This is every RTN winner with an asterisk in our area, and me. I'm joined today by Oliver, who is currently getting cookies.
I forgot. There's still the cookies in the oven.
Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and Francis is going to be our whiskey master here. We're just going to be talking about Thab and asking questions and munching on cookies. So yeah. We'll go ahead and let's start pouring. Let's start pouring.
You want to introduce everyone
Yeah,
real
well,
quick because we got some new faces here.
yeah, let's do that while we start pouring. So I guess from left to right. Dan first.
So I'm Dan Wallach. What more information do you guys want?
I don't know.
What did you win? What did you do?
I won the Game Castle Santa Clara Draft RTM.
Gotcha. Which hero?
I won with KO.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate. No CNC for you.
No, CNC for me.
R.I.P.
All right, Carlos.
Yeah, I'm Carlos Samaniego. Won the CCRTN with Katsu. Yeah, it's weird because I'm usually on that side of the video, watching all the cameras, so it's nice to be on this side of it.
Yeah, now that
So, yeah.
I think you started a YouTube channel and then abandoned the YouTube channel in between the last episodes.
Abandoned's
Whoa,
a tough
whoa.
word to
That's a very
describe
tough
it.
word
What's your last
considering
upload?
that it was a collective effort to abandon.
Yeah.
What? No effort at all.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
You can find him on Coat You could have found him on Coat Merchants if you.
I mean, you can still find the videos.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. You can find his latest video on Alan Loop's channel.
Last year.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy.
I'm Tommy. I also won a CCRTN on KO instead of Katsu, and it was my first time doing that, so that was cool.
Nice.
Congrats.
All right. Sounds good. Oliver.
France?
Oh yeah. France and Oliver split.
Me and Oliver split one. We did a draft RTN. Yep. And then Oliver also split 2 finals, so he's a full winner.
Yeah. He has
Unlike me.
won 2 half RTNs.
You're rounding.
Unfortunately, he can't
Yeah,
join us because
rounding
he's so
up.
busy baking cookies.
2 RTNs means 2 gold foils.
Oliver, please introduce yourself. People have forgotten who we are.
Yeah, my name is Oliver. I play cardboard and choke at tournaments. That's all I do.
Very accurate.
All
You'll
right,
see
yes.
him with the purple hoodie at tournaments.
Yep. Sometimes.
What are we drinking, France?
So the first thing we're drinking is a 1997 Wild Turkey. I believe it's called the 1855 Reserve. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, we forgot.
It's gotta feed the cameraman, dude.
It's a very delicate whiskey. Very classic, funky turkey flavors. Just a very classic bourbon, honestly. But it's only 43%. That's why we're starting off with this. Everything else gets heavier after that.
Sounds good. So I have a couple questions prepared for everybody while we talking about the whiskeys digest or not digest. So first question is,
We're drinking.
yeah, we're drinking. Yeah, go ahead. Just drink
Whatever
it.
you want.
Tommy.
Should we
I don't know, dude. I didn't see if you drank it or not.
I did
Maybe
sips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a face
Or
myself
sips.
here.
Okay. So first question: what do you guys think of the metagame? Both draft metagame or draft format and CC format. You can choose either one, whichever is your favorite. People are saying it's really open. Do you think it's open? And is it as open? Do you like it if it's open?
Who wants to start?
Oliver, start.
That is great. You can pretty much play whatever you want without like being inferior like the meta decks. And then the draft format is actually really fun. This is actually like one of the first draft formats I actually enjoyed playing, and I actually wanted to play more. So
Surprising.
Very surprising, considering the guy that likes Monarch.
Yeah. Given how many cubes he's making.
this is just WTR light.
Historically,
True,
you like
actually,
CC
true,
way more than
totally.
draft too.
Yeah, it's WTR without Katsu, so it's even better.
Although Katsu in Welcome to Raid draft is like kind of tough.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
He has to have like flux and stuff.
I think the fatigue Katsu in Welcome Raid's draft was really
Yeah.
Yeah.
With drone.
Yep, drone
good. I don't
and
even think you need
There's
drone.
there's two weird drafts. Like there's the unlimited draft without drone, and there's like the unlimited draft
Oh,
with
true,
drone.
true. Yeah.
There's like,
technically two different formats.
did we ever draft alpha? I don't think we ever drafted alpha, right?
but there's a time where unlimited
Right.
drone
right,
is
right,
still
right.
in it. So
What do you guys think? Meta? Any meta, draft meta, CC meta.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Oliver. I like draft enough, but I never really loved draft. I think this set's the first set where I actively was like excited to go to both RTNs that were draft here, and I was like excited to do it. I'm really happy with how CC is. I thought the fact that it was 22 out of 25 heroes got points. I thought that was amazing. I don't know. I'm like, I like thinking about that side of things a lot, and so seeing that is exciting. It's, you know, and playing the second best guy, I guess, but still happy that it's as open as it is, and like we're thinking about things. that
Yeah,
way,
I was actually very surprised that Betsy squeaked in at the last,
Yeah,
last
right.
moment. Especially with that deck, I was like, what the?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm
On the
surprised.
9 Olympia.
The Nine Olympia,
Oh, yeah, Nine
at least it
Olympia.
looks like what an Olympia deck should look like, right?
Yeah.
And
I don't
Betsy's
know,
deck is
there's
just
a-
like,
There's a lot of 2-ups in that
Yeah,
deck.
that's
I was
true,
a little
that's true.
surprised. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, Betsy's deck was just like, you're running Staunch Response and you're running a bunch of,
stand.
yeah, with Stand.
And so many like
So
blue
awesome.
block for 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there a reason why they were Betsy? Just bet big and good time shippo. Were they running good time shippo?
Yeah,
I
points.
have no idea.
I have no idea why they.
I think they were.
Cool.
At least
Carlos.
from my side, drafts was never really my thing. At least I'm not compelled to play it as much as everyone else, so I don't usually go to drafts. But I think the best draft I enjoyed the most was like Uprising for some reason. I liked playing Islander a lot, so that was my thing. But
Special.
yeah, it's special. I know, right?
That's so rude, Oliver.
Yeah, no, but the CC is good though. I think it's really interesting, like the progression of how the meta is shaping. Like at first it was like a lot of KO Victor, and now it's like slowly. Now it's like we're seeing more Dromai kind of getting under like all like the winners.
Mhm.
So it's really interesting how it's shaping up. And then now like today, the battle hardened Kasai Axes won. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, that was a PTI event, I believe. It
Yeah.
was not
No,
PTI.
no. That was
Battle
a
Hard.
Battle Hard
That
in
was
True
Europe.
Battle Hard? Oh,
Yeah.
Battle Hard in Europe. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
In Kiel.
Yeah.
PTI and Dallas Fort Worth.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the 100.
Do we know the
Thunder
results
Brutal.
for that one yet?
I know it's. I think it's still going on. As of this recording, I know Michael Hampton's first seed.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything else beyond that.
Peter
Okay.
got 9th.
Yeah, Peter got 9th.
All right,
Unfortunate.
Boonsick?
Yeah, Boonsick. Yeah.
Ellie told me she got 9.
No, she got.
She got 14th.
Yeah.
Oh.
She got top 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the top of her points, I believe.
Dan, what do you think?
I haven't had a chance to play much CC, but I think the draft format, like everyone said, it's great. I think it was LSS was able to learn from what they did in Outsiders, Outsiders with the 6 hero format,
Mhm.
and you can reasonably play any of the 6 heroes. Well, maybe not Reinhardt, but
I still think Reiner is kind of cracked, but I'm a very minority opinion on that.
I probably could have had a Reinhardt deck in that last pod, but I had so many 3 blocks.
I tried.
So did I, and then I
That's right.
went out immediately in quarters.
I passed you the show no mercy.
It only blocked.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Closing my cartwheel.
yeah, like with Runner, right? You have the second arm. That's the main draw towards them, where like you have to like maximize your discard claw lines. But yeah, it definitely feels a lot tougher to put together, and it feels a lot tougher to put together once everybody knows that Kaio's good, and they're kind of hedging bets towards KO, and just drafting a bunch of 6s that you were like, oh, maybe I should have picked that earlier instead of actual cards. Yeah. Cool. Anything you want to say about heavy hitters in general as a set, as a draft format?
I have no idea how to draft
Same.
Warriors.
Warriors
sucks.
card.
Warriors.
It's
Yeah.
really good. It feels really hard.
And that's why I'm like even more confused that Warriors like top the leaderboard.
It's highest top of the leaderboard.
Well, Warrior,
That's
there's
a-
just a few different ways to take it. So it's just really knowing which way. I mean, there's some. I've seen looking through the Runaways 3-0 list, sometimes they've got 2 red attack reactions, sometimes they've got 6 red attack
Oh,
reactions.
okay.
Sometimes they've
So it's
got
just, like,
a ton
a
of
lot
draw
more
swords.
flexible.
Yeah. It's kind of going back to like WTR where people always talk about how there's actual archetypes to draft, and I think you just have to think that through and craft more towards it. I think people kind of, lots of 3 blocks.
Yeah, I feel like the archetypes in this set are a little bit more subtle.
Yep.
Especially because like on the surface, people are saying like, oh yeah, there's really no difference between Kasai and Olympia, or like there's really no difference between like I don't know Betsy or Victor if you just don't have too much, resources. But like it really feels like that there's a lot more subtle expression. People are saying that it gets a little bit more degenerate at higher levels. Do you guys feel that at all, or I guess most of our experience is pretty local level.
The only thing I've heard that like warrior, you want to be the third warrior, not the third guardian. I thought that's been interesting.
That's fair, yeah.
But like I don't know anything really beyond that with all those things.
Yeah, I always find that sort of logic really weird. Like sure you're the third warrior, right? But at the same time, it's like that means the other 2 warriors are also kind of just like not doing very well, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean you're the third. It means maybe
So
they're the
it's split
third.
between 3, right?
Maybe they're the third, and they just start taking your stuff, right?
You could be the third in a row, so that'll be a rough time.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Though if you're the third in a row, I feel like that's your own. That's on you.
I think, at my RTN, there was definitely the pods felt different as you went from the very first pod, whereas everybody, the second pod that I was in was all of the 3-0s and 2-1s, and that felt much tighter.
Mhm.
And again, the top 8 was the same things. Really got to figure out your seat and then go from there.
You could tell draft signals were a lot harder in like the 3-0 pod and
Yeah.
the top 8 pod.
You sure about that?
Yes.
I was the only victor in top 8.
No, I was talking about
Guardian,
the
weren't you?
GKSC
Oh, okay, I
one.
was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
You only guarded.
In that one, yeah,
That was weird.
that one was a weird.
Well, Clint still ended up with a crazy deck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Dan and I, our first pod, because I was in the same pod as in round 1. It was a row of brutes. It was 3 brutes in a row, and it alternated from there.
Yeah.
Other classes. It's crazy.
What do you think, France? I'll give you half the time since you're half a winner. No, yeah, go on.
No, I said my pick.
Okay, Oliver. You
What are we
good?
talking about?
Draft or CC.
CC.
Sounds good. What's our next?
So
Whiskey.
the next 2 is going to be a pair of books. We'll start off with Little Book Chapter 2. This is a rye. It's actually a blend of 8-year-old, 13-year-old, and a 40-year-old Canadian rye.
They ruined the 40-year-old one.
It was probably not good by itself. Whenever you hear about these blends where they use like really high age statement like whiskey, it was not good by itself. It's like over oaked or something. Just there's something bad about it. These 2.
Yep.
It's okay, I live here.
Was it these 2?
Order to be-
Okay. Double check.
Carlos.
Drunk CC.
You were tracking, so I stopped tracking.
Or at least that's the order that they were passed.
Yeah.
This one's supposed to be a little sweeter.
I will say Canadian rye does smell very, very sweet.
Yeah, it
Canadian
does.
whiskey.
And this is 2 parts Canadian rye, 1 part Kentucky rye.
Canadian. Interesting.
While we drink that, so our next question is, of all the heroes that are in Classic Constructed right now, we have a handful that didn't get any wins at all, which are Arachne, Teklevasin, Riptide. I can't think of any other ones, but I'm sure there are some other ones that I completely forgot.
Vincent?
This right?
Vincent won.
Vincent won one.
won.
I
Sorry
know
about
Vincent
this,
won.
right?
Vince Wright won 2, I think.
They both did. Vincent and Vincent.
Yeah, and I know I'm not sure if the next one won.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
think
yeah,
it was just those.
Arachne, Teklevasin, and Riptide, and there's a few others with 1 or 2 wins, like we just said. Are there any of those heroes, or just heroes in general, that you think people are sleeping on, or are a small amount of support away from being a major player in the metagame? In other words, it's an open meta, whatever, but these guys are clearly struggling. What do they think? What do you think they need? People go on about like, oh yeah, Teklevasin needs AP. I'm just like,
I feel like
Doesn't-
Dromai gatekeeps.
Sure, but
Yeah.
Dromai gatekeeps Teklo, Riptide, kind of, sort of. And then
Arachne.
what was it? In Arachne.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I feel like
Gatekeeps all
Dromai's
3.
presence like really just knocks their spread low, really badly.
it's kind of like how Prism used to be back in the day, right?
Yeah,
Where-
like no one thought, oh, I'm gonna run Olin because
Well, people did, and then
People,
it was like,
some people did, yeah.
it's like I'll just accept the loss.
Yeah, yeah.
95-5 at best.
Maybe it's a
But,
95-95.
Nobody thought that. you play one game as old him, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe not 95-95.
I don't know, earlier on when people didn't know, people were always saying 90-90 from their side.
In our area.
Not in our area.
Wow,
People knew.
I wonder why.
Because we have the
You
menace.
bully?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
My immediate thoughts from seeing kind of the results. The first one felt like the only hero that didn't feel like it was in its play. Like if you just like split up the points of the tier list, like I felt like Azuri was underrepresented.
Mhm.
I also think that Ninja is like weirdly like it's definitely seen a lot of play. I mean, Katsu did really well, but also like it feels better than it's played. I guess there's no play rate. And I mean, I know with Fi, it's like maybe we could be like lava, but with Katsu, I'm like, I don't know. It just feels good already, and the fact that we're getting the ninja set coming soon is interesting for that. But also, he feels good now. Like I think he's kind of one of the heroes I'm thinking about this coming weekend because of that.
I don't think we're getting Ninja set next set. I don't think part of Viscel. That's gonna be my hot take.
Share the spice.
Dude,
Sure.
I will be so
Yichin
mad it's
already
not.
has
Elaborate.
insider information.
No, I don't have zero insider information.
That's how you know it is a ninja.
But
Yeah.
but every time people have done this, they've always had the rug pulled underneath them.
Yeah.
When Monarch was first spoiled, everyone was like, "Wow, Cleric, amazing!" Because Illuminate was spoiled first. Just the art for Illuminate. Everyone's like, "Wow, Cleric, sweet! I can't wait to play Cleric." When Tales of Aria spoiled, "Wow, Druid! I can't wait to play Druid."
Yeah, okay. You might not. Elemental Druid.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants to put D&D classes.
Exactly.
We don't have rogue, but we have ninja. We
The
have
only thing I'll
assassin.
say about what you just said is that it's Mysteria, and ninjas are from Mysteria. And
That's-
it's no,
oh,
it's
okay.
kind of
Oh,
No,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
I have no
whoa.
ninjas that is
Whoa.
right now.
Whoa. First of all,
Okay.
let's not
Correct.
stereotype here. Not all ninjas are from
course.
Mysteria.
Yeah, fine, that's true. Half of the adult ninjas are not from this area.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
50%. You feel bad now?
Azuri's
I know.
Yeah. Is there? Yeah.
It's gotta be ninja though. Like the Be Like Water, Mist, like it's gotta be some name stuff, right? Like
That's true. That's true. Like,
know?
yeah, I do think the names matter. Is a nice bridge where you can bridge ninja and illusionist and maybe
True.
like one other class,
Yeah.
like assassin.
Assassin's probably going to be in there, too.
Yeah. It would be a nice bridge to see.
Yeah.
But I feel like ninja, assassin, and wizard is just this is just outsiders plus uprising.
Don't give me wizard.
We need
let us
wizard.
cook with that.
What if Kano LLs and then we have an entire class that's unplayable?
That's lovely. Give him some time.
No.
Give him some time.
No.
Well, people were thinking assassin. It was just wizard, ninja, illusionist.
Yeah, it's true. This is just uprising.
Yeah.
We need to let wizard cook. Like,
Mhm.
let them figure it out.
I
Well,
figured it out.
What about you, Carlos? Anybody you think is being slept on?
It's tough to say. I think Ninja is surprisingly good. Like Katsu specifically, just because.
Says the guy that wins with Katsu.
Yeah, well, it's true, but like the Lynx build is more legit.
So sweet.
And then Tenacity just really helped.
Mhm.
Just helped kind of shape it all together because you create a fork with Salt and Tenacity, and then Descended Bonds, Dishonor, Targets are all really good. So that's something that people should be more aware of. I feel like testing teams might be too funneled into like KO, Dromai, and the like, and maybe Prism too. A lot of Prism Sims.
Could be me.
Could yeah, of course. I think Levia is can be very strong too. Yeah, I feel like Levia is a bit slept on. Just huge fridge, flesh bag, high rate cards. I mean, she can be clunky, of course, but I feel like she has a lot of potential under a good pilot, for sure.
I feel like if I'm a guy who doesn't want to play an S2 hero, I'd be bringing Katsu. I feel like he hits Droma and KO well enough.
One tier, let's put him at S tier. So
Yeah. People,
Yeah.
people
Fair.
have coming around.
Fair.
I think it's just like the Victor Bravo
This is
matchup.
sort of a
You
target.
need like reps. You need more experience. And the thing about picking up Katsu is like there's so many micro decisions, and you have to like assume how your opponent's gonna block. And if it's different from what you assume, then you have to like kind of pivot. So you always have to have like, oh, if it hits, You have to have the plan for if something hits and if it weren't to hit. So it's a bit tough to like pick up at first.
Just so much less room for error. In
Yeah,
the decks.
exactly.
Yep.
So it can be tough, but it's a fun hero.
Especially if you get on the back foot.
Oh yeah.
I don't
If you're
know,
on the
when
back foot and you're just like you make one bad decision, it's like that's probably
I don't know. Whenever I play against you, Cross, I'm just like, wow, I'm winning, and and then you
Probably
take your
not.
turn. I'm like, oh, I just lost the game.
so that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like you also have to plan your turn way in advance, right? Played, it's like I have 4 triggers. I have to go search for 2 or 3 cards. I have to get the right ones in the right order.
Yeah, and then like the cards I look for will influence how you block now. Because like, oh, if I get Tenacity, okay, he's not gonna block. Or if I get Salt, oh, he's gonna block a little bit more. So it's like a game of how your opponent is gonna block and what you're gonna do to like just for it not to matter, right? It's kind of tough sometimes, but it's fun.
what about you, Dan? I know you said you haven't played too much CC, but have you been watching stuff?
Yeah, I've still been watching stuff. I've been looking around for what I should pick up. Like I was playing Dash.io. She's still super explosive, but all the additional 4 blocks makes life a little rough.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like balance also really just
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
help
true. Yeah.
There's just so
Some
many
fine
people.
goals.
Some fine.
The
Yeah,
brutes,
keep
just
pushing that. I don't
casual
think
item hate.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah. True.
Hillary is still a problem.
There's still a problem. But I mean, the Dromai matchup isn't too bad because you just high octane clear the board.
Or kill them.
And
Kill
reasonable
that.
poppers.
Yeah, reasonable hoppers. I don't know, just the heroes that you listed at the beginning, those aren't going to be reasonable choices for Pro Tour. I don't know what they need. I feel like Riptide just needs Azalea to go away so there isn't just a better Ranger.
It's true. I feel that way about Betsy too.
Yeah, I mean, she's just Bravo Light, so why?
Yeah.
And it seems like Olympia, with the support he has now, is just Kasai Light. I mean, you look at that deck and it's basically a Kasai list.
Or you look at Hatchet's Kasai and it's basically Olympia list and makes you a better hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, within that vein too, like Victor is like a better Bravo in that like he has card text that's more relevant more often.
I don't know. I feel like Bravo still has Bravo's
Bravo.
points are Starstruck.
Yeah,
Starstruck and Crippling.
Starstruck
Yeah.
and Crippling.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like imagine just like drawing cards on their opponent's turn and then just getting some payoff at the same time with like Might and Vigors.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
like-
hard when one of the big heroes is like actually competing with you on clashes though.
This is true.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like it's tough.
Yeah. How's the Victor KO matchup?
KO feels great. It's weird though because my win rate versus like my public list win rate is very like opposite
Oh, it
directions.
always happens.
But like I have my Victor losses are like, oh, you played Pummel 3 turns in a row. Got it. Like like my wins are I misplayed and still won kind of thing. So
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
a lot more room for error on your side.
yes, 100%.
Oliver, can you speak on Trems?
Oh my god. Me and Miles played Victor versus KO. I lost every single clash. My weapon was at 2 power. Miles had 3 gold. I was like, I guess I don't win this.
Yeah, and then you draw all blue. You can just cycle through the golds. I was like, thanks,
Welcome, Miles.
I've let my friend put his Miller to 0.
Yeah.
Just kill him after, you know? It's like
Kill me. End it. Please end it.
Yeah, 0 calories. 0 pounds. All right, France, what do you think?
Arachne is just overshadowed by Azuri. Just hero power div. Declavaza needs a lot, and then I think Riptide's almost there, but needs like 2 or 3 things.
Sometimes Riptide can put out like good numbers.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just it kind of needs to line up a bit and
I think it's a really good
Yeah.
like value oriented deck, right? The numbers that you're dealing on a turn by turn basis is great. It's just you're a defensive deck ultimately. Like I don't know how you deal with like the 20 plus damage turns that KO can pump out.
just draw collapsing trap every time.
True.
Yeah. Just draw.
Just line it all up, yeah, yeah. With their three,
Yeah.
not no fears, cast bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Every time.
I feel like Teklovasan is just super meta dependent. He's also pretty
He-
polarizing.
Yes.
He feels like he's gotten pretty close a couple times. So like, I don't think the gap between the rest of the meta and these 3 heroes is like that great,
No.
right? Like it feels like
Sure.
you get like 2 2 or 3 like power cards for each hero, maybe just 1 or 2, and you're like, oh, now I can compete now.
I mean, if we're getting Assassin and Miss the next set, then maybe something will help Arachne, but
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like the other talented sets, you get like one set of one majestic, 1 set of rares, 1 set of commons. You're like, okay, that's enough.
could just get the Bolden treatment. 1 new legendary or majestic in the expansion slot every set until you're playable.
It's true. They did that for Ranger actually, where like Tales of Aria had
Bolton shot.
Bolden shot, and
So
everyone's like, wow,
good.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the next set had like rain razors and all that, and
And then after that drill shot,
yeah,
oh,
it's like they slowly just crept up.
Yeah.
fatigue shot,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
from Everfest, yeah.
Yeah, the whining from the Azalea players slowly went down to the outsiders.
I think release attention was also Everfest.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a promo for.
Oh yeah, it was a promo.
It was a promo.
You think like Riptide will get there if they just make him like Voltaire? Just keep getting. I feel like I've seen kind of
Riptide
lists
Voltaire.
close to that. Not giving it, but like I feel like I was hearing about lists being basically just turning his ability into Voltaire, or just like, well, I'm just gonna throw 3 arrows at you a turn or something. But that didn't. Nothing came out of it, so I don't know.
I think Riptide needs another blue bad card.
It got
I
Raylan.
love Intoxicating Shot.
Yeah, no, it's like reel in intoxicating shot.
Oh,
like we
intoxicating
need
shot
more
is
of that.
great.
Yeah.
Right? 0 for 4.
Yeah, we just need more blue cards until Riptide plays more blues now.
More than the 15
more than 6
blues
blues. Yeah,
that
yeah.
they play.
Yeah. Well, they used to just be like, oh yeah, we'll take 3 blues, which are my legendary drops, and the rest reds. Right? That's what the old Riptide build was. And they're slowly being like, okay, Alice is telling us we need to run more blues.
I'll give credit though. Bullseye Bracers coming back was huge for Riptide. Because like after Lexi LL'd or Bracers got banned, it was just like you couldn't touch Riptide. And now that it's back, it's like okay, it's more reasonable that you're playing Riptide, or you see someone playing Riptide. Okay, it's Bullseye at least.
Yeah.
You can do the Rain Razors double Bolden shot into other shenanigans, but
Just wonder where the judge juries and reds are.
no, of course, yeah.
I will say I did lose to Riptide, so he
Wait,
is
that's
there.
Prism?
It's good.
Yeah,
It's pathetic.
Insane.
it was good. my deck shit the bed, but it's fine.
Meta counter.
How many Brookmire graphics?
It was 0.
It's
Zero?
It's
Wow.
Levi just like ran me over. I was just like, oh, my deck is not working today.
Ah.
Yeah.
It was right. It was the same event that I got you at.
Doesn't even acknowledge his opponent's skill. He's like,
No,
oh,
he
that
played it
was
well.
my-
Skilled.
He played well. I didn't.
And my deck wasn't working today.
Yeah, my deck actually was. I had no value out of Halo. I had like no auras. I just had all heroes. And just,
Wow,
like,
aggressively Halo.
Levi figured it out, man.
Hmm.
yeah. No, I think it's a good deck. I think it just needs like.
Yeah, I do think it just needs 1 or 2 things.
I think people, like Dan said, Azalea is in the meta. So why play an inferior aggro ranger list when you can play Azalea?
It's just like Lexi Wolf.
Sure.
Just play the best ranger.
Next one. All right, so this is Little Book Chapter 3. This is a blend of 4 different bourbons, 8, 9, 11, and 12 year. This is all the bourbons from Jim Beam, so Knob Creek, Basil Hayden, Booker's, and Baker's.
Why is it called Chapter 3?
They do a chapter every year.
No, this is Chapter 2. He doesn't have Chapter
Oh, we
1.
don't have
I
chapter
do not
one.
have chapter
Okay,
one.
I
Yeah.
love
It's like
And-
Alpha.
I have
Gotcha.
disliked every chapter after 4,
Cold foils.
so I do not have anything after 4.
Nice.
So this one, you may not like it if you don't like peanuts flavor in your whiskey. It's a very prominent flavor from any Jim Beam product.
Peanuts, huh? I can't tell.
Can't smell it. Good.
All right. Next question. We go a little out of order. Talk about testing teams. So, not all of us are on teams. I'm not on a team because I'm not a good player. What sort of testing do you do to prep for the road to nationals, if any? And at higher levels, do you think that you need what sort of testing do you need, or do you need a dedicated testing team at this point to be able to compete in nationals?
Hmm.
You want to take this, Oliver, Mr. Stroopwaffle?
I'm on a team.
This is the guy that always says he's not on a team. What do you mean?
He founded Stroopwafel.
No, I didn't.
T-shirt.
did.
You have a T-shirt.
No, wasn't it?
You got the
Warrison?
band together.
I thought it was Warrison.
No, it was Yuki.
Oh, okay.
Yuki got the band together.
No, you did because you introduced Yuki to Ian, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you did.
You are the glue that pulls
You're
it
the leader.
together.
Yeah.
No, Yuki is definitely the leader.
Yeah. But you're the
I'm
you're the
just a
founder.
cheerleader for them.
Mascot.
Sponsor.
I do think teams are kind of necessary because you kind of want that consistent schedule to test with people, and you want to play with consistently good people, but also people who can play a lot of different decks. And
This is why
that's
we don't play
usually, like-
anymore.
What?
This is why we don't play anymore.
What?
I'm left behind. I'm left behind.
I'm not saying I test a lot. I don't even play that much.
Guys, this isn't therapy session. Okay.
That's what you always say, Oliver.
That's it. Yeah. That's what I think at least.
I think that's the benefit of testing teams is they're so much more efficient.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't have to play any hero 1,000 times. You can watch or talk to someone about it.
Right.
You have a specialist. I mean, talking.
Yeah, it's the increased quality of your
Yeah.
time spent, right?
And back seating is one of the best things to do.
Oh, I love vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what I did for my RTN. Is I was in Switzerland until like the Monday before, so I was just looking at Runaways 3-0 draft list, trying to figure out what was good, and then I think the Friday night before, I was carpooling down with Michael, so I was like, "Hey, found these 3-0 lists. I need to get some reps on the heroes to know how they play. Do you want to just jam some of them into each other?" So we just spent an hour and a half doing a couple reps of all the different heroes, figure out the play styles. Like, I didn't do any drafts of heavy hitters before the RTN.
We did do a lot of gameplay, or decent amount of gameplay.
Decent amount of gameplay, lots of just looking at all the other resources that were out there, looking at other people's 3-0 lists, listening to like On the Bobble or the Arsenal Pass, or just
It's plugs.
yeah.
Subscribe to them, not us.
But I think people don't understand testing teams until they're part of them. They think they're super elite, but usually it's just a group of friends that care about the game, so they just try to schedule time to get reps, which you should be trying to do, even with it's just with your locals.
Yeah.
Right?
I know you guys have what's basically a testing server, but
Yeah, it's
you just need one guy to come up with a name, and you're now you're a team,
you
right?
got the KO Cabal. It's this little subgroup.
It's like, is it like the League of Levia or like
Basically.
the Azalea cult where you just
Yeah.
play a bad hero?
It's just as long as you're posting, really. But yeah.
There's only like 3 people playing KO in there, though.
I know. Well, exactly. It's like, well, it's probably like 5 or 6. I mean, yeah, it's not exclusive. That's the big thing too. But I don't. It's interesting because like I'm kind of on the cusp of calling that a testing team. I think the biggest difference it has made for me, and like I love those guys, and like just talking about KO because before we all started talking about it, getting together and like being like we're gonna play KO, I was like ranting to my friend Dexter about it really, and like being like, dude, look at all this stuff I'm figuring out or whatever, or like I would send it to Lupine Fiasco because him and I were both playing 5, and I'm like, isn't this just head jab for 6? Like, and like when he and I started switching over, and then also just rambling about it to Dexter, it's like I'm realizing all these things. But there's so much more. It's like clicking now that like I'm seeing 4 different perspectives on the list, or we're playing into these heroes and going like, okay, here's how this matchup's feeling for me on this more aggressive version versus like we're playing closer to Yuki's list. Like Katsu's a good one, I think. All of the guys who are really in on aggro have a really hard time against Katsu. I'm pretty like I'd say a little over 50-50 right now, just because it's like I have more 3 blocks. I see a hand, it actually is capable of blocking with 2 cards and throwing something good back. And they're not getting that as much. So being able to see that is really nice, because it's like seeing the benefits of the aggro pile versus seeing the benefits of the mid-range pile and figuring out like, okay, well, what am I respecting? What am I trying to tune towards? How am I breaking Mandible Claw compared to how they break Mandible Claw? It's been really nice. But it's hard to like, I'm not doing a lot of group testing. Like I am getting reps, like a ton of reps. I think I had an embarrassing streak of like 5 armories in a row, or it might have even been 6 last week. And it did not. I felt odd like realizing it, but it was also like I am getting games in and I am figuring this out and like figuring out the play pattern. So I want to get more of like actually just getting reps with people and like especially people who are in tune with KO in that case. But I think what I'm getting so far as a testing team has been really nice. And I'm hoping it'll amp up before Nats, or that I'll be more actively into that half of it before Nats and figuring it out.
Nice. So you're planning to go to Minneapolis? All of you are?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I am not. So
Really?
no, not this time. I have a trip right before. I have
Oh my god.
work right
so
after.
many
So
trips, dude.
yeah,
Nice as a seat.
it's a hobby, like Fab.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you could travel for Fab. Minneapolis is a
Playing
great
to
place
the
to
world.
visit.
You should.
Just
Wow.
don't get shot.
Minneapolis versus Alaska. Wow, which one would I rather go to?
Minneapolis is much
on
warmer.
vacation.
Dude, Mall of America.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, oh, wow.
1,000 lakes.
This guy.
Yeah, I have their butter. All right, what do you think, France? You and Carlos are both not really on a team, but
No,
you do
not-
test with people who do belong to teams. A
On
decent amount.
occasion. On occasion.
Guys,
For
just-
like RTNs and ProQuest, I don't really test.
Mhm.
If I bring a deck that I'm not familiar with, I'll like play like 2 or 3 games of Talishar just to make sure like, oh, this feels right, like the amount of ratios of blues and like aggressive hands and non-aggressive hands, that kind of thing. But besides that, I don't really test that much. I'm more of like the person that watches a lot of gameplay. I'm like the theory person.
What about you, Carlos?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing for like since Monarch. Never really involved in a team. I mean, we just play the armories. Occasionally, me, Miles, Oliver will play. I think lately I've been more involved in teams. I wouldn't say I'm a part of teams, just like a part of servers where we're just playing more, trying to figure things out. Like for example, like I was having this debate with France earlier, like links her mom into Dromar, links her mom into Kaltsu in the mirror. Like these are like questions that I'm trying to figure out with people, and so I think it's definitely like teams definitely helps like target towards answering specific questions that you may not be able to always test or be able to like question, like when you're at Armory. You may not see a Katsu mirror, you may not see Dromai at Armory. So it's just more targetable. I think my opinion beforehand is just like sometimes when I hear like people talk like Brandon, Patrick, and Hayden, like, oh, in art testing, I feel like it's sometimes like I get the feeling they lack certain like outside perspective that don't always play the meta decks. I feel like top players always play like, oh, what's the best, and they aren't as open minded towards like other heroes that require more attention, like Dory, Katsu, where there's a lot more decision making.
Brendan and Bravo.
Yeah, right.
Brendan
So it's
and
just
Bolton.
like
Bolton.
How you can criticize Bolton when you play Kano.
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I don't know. I think it has its purpose. I think at the end of the day, it's like as long as you have fun with people you're playing with, and everyone's kind of going towards the same goal, I think it's beneficial.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Like being able to enjoy the games with the people that you're playing with.
Yeah, if you're like just testing just to win, it just doesn't feel as fulfilling. And if you don't like accomplish your certain goals, then it's just like it's kind of dispiriting.
I tried that in Magic. It was very like
It's so tough.
It just feels like you're. It feels like a grind.
Yeah,
Like, and it should not be. It's a game.
it's a game,
You gotta
and
enjoy
like
it, right?
you should play what you ultimately should have fun with, right? Or like why else play? Like some people like
engage, right?
yeah, like Lexi Meta. Oh, I'm gonna just play Lexi because she's the best deck, and then you play her, you don't get the results you want, and then it's just like this kind of sucks. And then but like alternatively, like I'm a Riptide man, but I have more fun coming out of events. No. Yeah, coming out of event like you're just
Clip
like
it.
not
Clip
regretting
it.
it. So it's just like yeah, it's a little bit like philosophy, like what you want to do versus like results.
So that means we're not gonna see you buy a gold foil sunken trench, right? Anytime soon.
No.
Why would you? It's not even EA.
Yeah.
It's trash. You can
Alright,
buy an
see,
EA
I'm
one
gonna
for
see
less than
PlayStation
$100 now.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of things that you guys said kind of falls under like the main benefits of having a team or just having people to test with isn't necessarily like getting reps in, but it's mostly in the knowledge osmosis. Because I feel like Dan, you and France both mentioned that you don't play that much, but like you just get a bunch of data and you just apply that data, right?
Yeah, another thing I noticed, like I'm more involved with like another team or like at least a group of people like just testing, and someone would backseat game me and like they would question my decision. I'm like, oh, like why did I do that? Or like, oh, I blocked inefficiently. Like I blocked with a 2 block that attacks for 3, and I didn't really need to. I could have just done 3 and then whatever I was gonna do afterwards. Like little value plays that I just was careless. Perhaps just like Talishar, you're just clicking and you don't really think about it, or you're just playing so many games where you don't think about every decision.
I think there's a negative to that too, because
Yeah.
sometimes like the backseat can be bad.
Yeah,
Or,
sometimes
like, it could be like pandering or annoying.
Yeah,
and-
no, but like
Yeah.
when it tilts
but
you
making
further,
it-
it's like, what am I learning?
Roll scabs, nobody.
yeah, there's like a
Always.
fine line where like
Yeah,
the person
yeah.
backseating should like, what do you think? Like they shouldn't
Yeah.
like, talk to you constantly,
Mhm.
but like, oh, like I might do this,
But yeah,
and then
it-
they're like, oh, I thought you were gonna do like the car on the right, and then
But yeah, that's
This-
the difference
this,
between
right?
like an actual teammate and just like someone you're testing.
It's the
with,
difference
right?
between a backseater and a coach.
Mm.
yeah, so it's like we're bouncing off ideas, and
Backseaters, they still make you defend your decision. Which
Yeah.
if you take that second, think about it. Either you agree with them, or you'd be like, "No, I'm still right. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
This is why I'm right." And going through that exercise is still usually beneficial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just being able to justify to yourself to just reinforce that, oh, this is the right play.
It's
Yeah.
all
Right.
logic, right?
Yeah.
It makes total sense.
And there's also like a level of ego you need to like, okay, yeah, this person clearly made the right line. Like, I'm gonna do this because why? Why not?
Mhm.
So it tests pride a little bit. Like even with COTS, like I'm always learning like new lines. It's like other people's decision on how they attack is like all also like valid, and yeah, so it's tough. It's very like a lot of perspective.
All right, well, let's go on to the next one, France.
All right. So this is a weeded bourbon. This is Weller Antique 107. This is a barrel that was bought by Beer Baron and bottled and sold by them.
You said weeded, as in like
Weeded.
weeded?
Wheat.
Oh.
Wheat. Wheat.
Okay.
Wheat. You know, like DJ Wheat?
No,
Oh, okay. Never watched StarCraft?
I never watched competitive StarCraft.
Ah, okay. So
That's
the
not-
number 107 refers to the proof. So this is 53.5%.
You weren't kidding about stepping up as we go.
Yeah. That's 70%. I'm dreading it.
You're dreading it? You've had the Jack Daniels 70% one.
Yeah, and I have that meme face now on Discord. So
The stream stopped. Wait, like,
yeah, the stream stopped a while ago.
Probably
Oh, they're switching to top 8?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Want me to go find it?
that's
I
fine.
like
Don't worry
this.
about it.
It's fine.
I can refill the cookies.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
and you
there
can
you go.
grab your team
I
t-shirt.
support
so we
it.
can all
What?
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
We wanna
crazy.
see the drip
You're
on
the
it.
your face is there.
Honestly, it doesn't look like Oliver at all.
It doesn't. Oliver doesn't look like a Japanese anime character.
Brian did make us game parlor T-shirts for
nice.
San Jose.
Oh,
We got
Nice.
Sword and Board one's coming in.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Repping the merch.
Oh yeah. Got our names on. Little Tommy B5K.
nice.
One
nice.
day I thought of an idea of just to like get everyone to agree to get like a white V-neck and like a purple
Dude.
jacket and wear like the mask to like be like Oliver. I like have the hood up in the bed so like no one knows who's Oliver until you
Yeah,
like
so
look
his
him in the
face.
face.
Yeah, walk in together and then just like split off. And
It'll be
But yeah, they're just like walking out of group and just disperse.
Over here.
yeah,
We should do that actually. That's
Well-
probably pretty cheap.
I was
That's a
gonna ask
purple-
Oliver at some point, like, where'd you get your jacket?
Purple hoodie's probably only like $20, right?
Yeah.
American Apparel's out of business, except they are selling on Amazon. But the color I have is not You can't get any more.
Oh my
No,
god, what a
man.
nerd.
All right, we'll just have an off color.
Yeah.
We'll have to buy him a new.
Well, it's like
hoodie.
a clone,
It's a
yeah.
The
bad
fact that he knows that means that he's tried to replace his
That's so
hoodie
awesome.
before.
Probably not the first time either.
He's one of those cartoon characters that has like the closet full of like the same outfit.
Yeah.
All right, so next question.
Turner.
We're talking about the Pro Tour. Are you guys going to the Pro Tour? And if so, do you think we'll see any surprises there, either in the metagame or in the keynote speech? If you guys want to chime in on that.
Ooh.
I know we already have a bit of spoilers for the keynote, which is
Oh.
like the CC decks, right? We're
Right.
probably going to talk about
Okay.
that. We're probably going to get some spoilers for Part the Mistveil.
New judge promos, maybe.
Yeah, maybe new judge promos.
Did we just get the new season of Judge?
That's true. That's true. But
It's still
we'll,
season 4, right?
yeah, season 5 will probably be revealed closer to Mistveil's release.
Mm-hmm.
Full razor. Let's go. Razor reflex.
I mean, they're running out of generics, so maybe.
If
Yeah.
they make a full E-strike, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be like,
I don't think
bro,
we're getting
that'd be
close to
insane.
strike.
that would be.
They're
It would look
saying
very
that for
cool,
Marvel.
but like
Art
my
for
money, my
Yeah.
wallet.
And we have
Mhm.
Cold Foil Command and Conquer already.
I think we
Beacon
need.
Strike.
I think we get Koful Tome first. Tome Final.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat.
Ooh,
that feels like
New
a good
art,
Judge
too?
pack too.
that would be nice.
No, not for judge promos.
Oh.
Judge promos are always going to be old art, I assume.
It'd be so cool though.
But yeah. What do you guys think? Anything that you're kind of hoping for the Pro Tour?
Still waiting for my email on the reception, but I would hope there's just information about this veil. I don't know.
There's definitely going to be a spoiler.
There's gotta be,
There's
right?
gotta be.
Yeah. Like I'm excited to see what that is.
Yeah. They're gonna do like a hero spoiler, I think.
It's got. Oh.
Yeah, or like a cool talent card, right?
Or just show the
Yeah,
art
dude,
for a
I
I want to see
hero.
talent.
Yeah.
Show
Or-
the art for a hero.
Show the art.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what they do to
I'm
Uprising,
just-
right? They
I
show
don't
the
know
card
what's
and
happening.
the hero text.
Yeah. They baited us for Uprising. They showed Thaw first, and then Draconic ended up being nothing like Thaw. I still dislike that for them because I was like, wow, we're getting this Draconic talent. It's like big attacks and anti-ice. Okay, maybe some like graveyard interaction. Wow,
Yeah,
this
graveyard
is-
recursion, like
Yeah,
like dredge stuff.
yeah, and
you
it
know?
turns out
like
the most
sorry,
relevant part
sorry.
of the card was the little color strip. That's what makes it Draconic. Any other takers?
I'm not going to PTLA, but
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to see anything surprising in the metagame. It
Mhm.
might it'll probably tighten up.
Yep.
Just because some of these heroes are justifiable to bring to your armory or an RTN, but probably there's only going to be maybe 10 that are worth bringing to Pro Tour.
Absolutely.
Kind of curious about how, KO's like the boogeyman, but like he hasn't like been converting too much.
No, it's Dromais.
Yeah, so it's just like I want to see how many people are. I just want to see how the KO totally pans out.
I think
I
we'll
feel
get
like
less
sometimes
takers.
it's just so good,
Yes,
and then sometimes
I
it's just like on the back foot. No, I'm throwing 6, or sometimes I just cast bones, Arsenal Blood Rush, and then they pop off. So I want to see how KO kind of shapes up.
It's
And
the healthiest best deck
yeah,
I've ever had.
yeah,
Well, it's not even the best deck yet. No,
Yeah.
so
quote unquote. It's up there. It's up there though.
yeah. Would you say Dromite would be a healthy best deck?
No,
Never illusionist.
I think it's a remnant of the old,
Fab design.
the overpowered like
Mhm.
bad design.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
the last whole lot of Fab 2.0.
But it's funny how like when she first released, you're like, oh, it's like it just gets popped, and like everyone's just like, oh, like the curve on learning Dromai and developing Dromai took a while.
Yeah,
Because Islander 5 just like took off.
Fight took off, and then Islander.
And then-
Islander once like Wounded Bull on Bullander kind of came
Yeah,
out.
that was, like, a
Then
couple
she,
months
kind
later.
of and that was like Nats of Charlotte Nats.
I mean, even before during the Wounded Bull release, Arcane Icelander did well, right?
Yeah.
Brian made top 8 of Nats with that.
Yeah,
I got 11th with Arcane at the calling that
Yeah,
day.
he played Hamilton in the semis.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So Dromai just took more time, but like it's one of those things where just the pilots just got better, right? Now we're seeing that same thing with Kano. Like, sure, we have like Oasis, kind of like,
Mhm.
stopping people just from like Wildfire willy nilly. Now it's just like, oh, I got to pitch deck double Wildfire with Tome and Blazing and all this stuff. So now it's just like the pilots have just gotten better. The dedicated pilots have just gotten better and have more refined game plans into those kind of strategies, right?
Dromai also got really good tools.
Yeah, Tome.
Chromai, Dust, and Tome.
Yeah.
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 So
their toolbox is like definitely bigger.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like varieties of ways to build, like big dragon or aggro.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like
She's got a spectrum of builds, I think.
yeah,
Just like how aggro you want to be versus how big dragon you want to be.
exactly. So that's something I want to see, like Dromai KO.
Oh, Dromai being good means Katsu's gonna break out, right?
I was gonna say my bold
Perhaps.
prediction is Katsu wins. I think he'll win the pro tournament.
I don't know.
Katsu?
That's obviously hard to actually predict that, but that's, I'll put that on the table.
All right.
I think
I
Dromai.
hope not. I don't want that.
I think
There's gonna be a lot
Dromai,
of
but
contests.
I think we'll see a large showing of Victor. That's my hot take.
All right.
I think
Well,
Mark's
I think
nice
Victor.
for it, too,
Victor's a solid pick.
Victor's the anti meta pick.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're anticipating all the. You're hoping that you go into the XO bracket, so you get matched up with all the Katsus.
9 Katsu in a
And
row.
if as soon as you drop it down to the 0x bracket, like the X1 bracket, you're like, oh, now I have to play all the Dromais.
Which isn't too bad.
Against as Victor, I feel like that's a pretty bad
First
matchup.
rough.
I mean, it's how much worse is it than Bravo?
You don't.
I think it's
worse
about
than
the same.
You have dominate.
It's
You
worse.
can't
Dominate
push.
and you have less poppers.
Yeah. It's you don't have the crippling crushing on the
Oh,
spinals.
true. Yeah.
Well,
no,
you can see the
no,
spinals,
no
but
crippling, no star
Not
strike.
good.
yeah, it's kind of tough.
I still think you can line it up well.
Kind of where you can take your goals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 2 for Ashes.
Okay. Well, since you mentioned it, hot take: who's gonna win?
Dromai.
Oh, I see. I'm
Mhm.
ahead of myself.
I want Dromai to win because I want her to LL.
yeah.
I want
But
Dromai
one
to
versus
win, but I
expect,
think
right?
Katsu's gonna win.
Yeah.
Oof.
I don't know.
Want Dromai. Katsu.
It's the reason why I say Katsu's not gonna win is because there's like it's so hard. Like sometimes he just draws like bricky hands and then like 2 blues and 2 bonds and then you're just like, what do I do?
You
I
block.
feel like the
Block and
cons-
lead.
yeah you block and then your opponent just like you know
You could
keeps
dodge.
going.
You could dodge Aether Wings.
Yeah. I don't know. I would be happy but also not happy because I don't want L.
You're right.
I mean, how many does he have right now? Like
He's
2?
like 5.
No, it's
He's
like
like
five.
5.
He's
6,
another
5,
five.
yeah.
He'll last a season or 2 after.
Yeah.
It's France.
Ninja Turtle, I think. he
Oh
grabbed.
shit! It's France.
Okay.
I think Dromai is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You think? What do you think?
I want Dromai to win.
Yeah.
I want to play my
You
library.
want Dromai to win?
Yeah.
but
Who do you think
is
is gonna win?
I think Dromai's gonna win.
Okay.
I think there might be some spicy Prism. Prism might go in there, and
Dromai's popular.
Yeah. No way.
It's just
With
like
the
I
Dromai
feel like someone's gonna do well enough, or like they're gonna do well and they're gonna go the distance. But whether they win or not is another story.
The dev talk, they're like, yeah, one will top 8. I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
The devs love Reinar.
Yeah, I
too.
can't believe
Well,
that.
to be fair, it's session blood. Like
Yeah.
40% of the devs are session blood in that round table, so they're gonna cheer on Reiner.
40%.
I do think there's a cool.
And the
like,
dev round table is
as
fine.
well.
Oh, dev round table.
Yeah. I think Reiner's kind of sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like realizing like
Sleeper.
if KO's big thing with agile windup, like I'm running reds now, and it's like agile windup's 2 action points. That's sweet. Reiner can make it 3. Like that has to be something, you know.
Well,
At least while they're both around together, since Mandible Claw goes with KO, but it's just, it seems sweet.
wasn't there a Berserk Reinar list that made
Yeah,
top
I
8
remember
last
that
Yeah,
year?
it's the
Yes.
He plays like 54 sixes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
It's like Berserk.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the only
I think that build's
non-sixes
really
are like
cool.
Blood Rush and Berserk.
Yeah,
That's
because
insane.
Sand Sketch Plan goes really well.
You don't run scan test plan. It's a
No, it's
non-six.
non- it's non-six.
No, but it enables action points and discards, so you can turn on
Sure, if
a
you're
bunch
doing
of
the plan.
stuff,
Sure.
and turns on Berserk
Right.
too.
Your non-6s are what?
Blood
Blood
Rush,
Rush and
Sand
Berserk.
Sketched, and Berserk.
Okay,
Well,
so
I mean,
it's
that's
9.
quite
And
a few
then-
1/6s.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, they run maybe a choice reckless swing here and there, 2 of those maybe.
That's 1/6 of your deck is now
You're
non-six.
not
Yeah.
comboing.
You don't
Yeah.
need Reckless Swing if you just kill them with
Yeah,
40
just-
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Sure.
Everything
So
says go.
maybe it's just 9,
Yeah.
but like the deck's really it can be high rolling.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I think Reiner's a sleeper. I think
Reiner's
a sleeper way more than Katsu.
yeah,
But
Mhm.
it's just like
Deep sleep.
I don't know if someone
It's
found
just
a
value.
consistent,
it's
deck.
just good value, and then once they're low enough, like Intimidate's just hard to. It puts you in a tricky spot where
Sure.
like, oh, I need to block with these specific cards so I can like do meaningful attack on my turn.
Yeah. Good CNC for 7 now. We're 13th go again.
If there's one person that I know, it'll be Chandler Toe, right?
And let's
Playing Reinar.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
see what he
possible.
comes up with.
Still on Reiner?
I don't know. Could be.
probably.
He's SoCal, right? Or is he?
No, he's not California native.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's from.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
Next one.
Well, I think
I
we're-
did have one more hot take. I think some of the new CC heroes are going to be totally new.
Like,
Oh my
totally
God.
new names.
Oh.
Like
Names.
no.
Wait, no,
No, no, maybe not new names, but like all Earthbriar.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright,
yeah,
alright,
that
alright,
sounds good.
okay.
That sounds good.
Wait, Benji though.
Well,
Come on,
she-
No,
maybe
no, no.
Kasai.
Nobody wants Benji in
It's just a
CC.
different hero text.
Then it's not Benji.
All right,
We're gonna get
what
water
talents
Benji,
though?
dude.
So you think Earth talent?
Well, yeah, I think like
Don't you
I
want
think an
water
all
Benji?
Earthbriar would be kind of interesting.
I would love an all Earth Briar.
I absolutely think that they'll do that because they don't want to dedicate a full set to redoing Tales of Aria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
One element hero sounds like a perfect idea,
I believe it.
especially because they do plan on bringing them back at some point.
Bring back early seeds.
And I feel like it would be like the perfect way to do it because all those Earth cards aren't super
They're so
high
long.
value.
Dude, imagine if the first of them is Lexi.
Yeah.
How bad people
What would
would
you
get.
do? Would you do
All like-
Lightning.
all like-
Lightning.
lightning?
All lightning, like-
Here's the thing: if they
Yeah.
bring back ice, right? They're bringing back frostbites. They don't want to bring back frostbites.
Yeah.
No, like I think frostbites are okay because they said the main issue was that there were too many onboard frostbite generation, which is just like Lexi's flip.
Oh, with like hero power stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And like same with Oldhim, right? They don't want Oldhim to have crown seats. He can have Winter's Whale, that's fine, but you don't want him to have crown seats.
Kind of seeds and winners.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Either one's fine.
But yeah, I mean that would make sense because then you're matching up the Tails heroes with their Unity
Yep.
specializations.
Exactly. All right, what's this one?
This is Thomas H. Handy. This is a very popular rye whiskey, probably one of the most popular. It is a Euro release, and this is 129 proof, so 64.5%.
Oof.
This is a
Water refresh.
Love water refresh.
is a very
Yeah.
part of a very well known collection called the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection,
I'm sorry.
and is a premier rye whiskey. Is absolutely one of my favorites in terms of rye.
Appreciate it.
And I have gotten a bottle of this every, except for the last year, but almost every year since 2017.
Okay. Right.
Give me a little more. You poured Tommy so much more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you also mind? You also mind? You take some.
No.
You want?
I need you.
You want to
get
drink
drunk
this?
tonight.
Yeah.
Carlos wants to drink.
I'll drink it, dude.
Oh no. No. You know the Instagram video where like they're pouring wine like no. It's like the guy does the double
Yeah,
ego
yeah.
laugh drinking it.
Oh yeah,
His hand comes into view. Like,
No. Bro, like, he actually drinks the whole bottle.
I love that. Yeah.
So funny.
All right, so this one's a bit of a fun question. We're talking about how much certain people hate Dromai, right? You can LL. This question says up to 3 heroes, but let's just say you must LL 3 heroes from the metagame. Who do you choose, and why?
Am I? It's right. Just because.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Long-standing
Hater.
problem with this.
Hater.
All right, cameraman, sit back down.
And then the last one is just Tekla Watson, so he has no chance at all.
That's why.
Zero to one, yeah. Exactly.
The only guy in there with 0.
All right, Oliver, professional hater, go.
Dromai. Bye.
Prism.
No, it's 5 because I want to get rid of all the talents.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I just wrote this
Yeah.
actually. There we go.
And then.
Bolton.
Man after my heart.
Levia. Wow, so rude.
Yeah, I'm working on getting there. I'm trying to decide, you know?
I think we need the list of heroes.
Do you not
What?
Do you not remember your hated
No,
heroes?
My hated heroes, of course. But
Yeah.
How many room blades are in there?
There's 2.
Blades.
Okay, yeah, I'll say Viserai. Yeah, get rid of Viserai.
Yeah. Oh
So
my god.
He's like, okay, it's so weird. Like, losing Rosetta Thorn made him lose so much aggression.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, Reaping Blade is only -1 damage, but it's, like, the same cost. I don't know, same curve.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosetta Thorn was that big of a...
It's because of the split damage.
Yeah,
It's so strong.
I know. But yeah, let's just
Oh,
get rid of
yes.
Viserai so we don't have to worry about it.
Honestly, losing Rosetta Thorn wasn't the issue. Viserai is still shit with Rosetta Thorn. Like before Viserai Briar out, he was bad.
Really?
I
I guess I played too much against Sean, but
Yeah.
That's
He was bad.
I feel like a lot of people would be.
yeah, Viserai can, like, really pop off.
I gotta make my
just
just
rush
rush
them
him down.
All right, Carlos, you're looking. Go for it.
Dromai for sure.
Oh, wow.
I could see how people would want Kano to LL because people are like, oh, like, he's just high rolly. People will cheat, like all that stuff.
There's so
I can
much.
see. I love Kano though, so I'm not gonna say Kano.
So much good stuff against Kano.
Dromai for sure. I just hate Prism. I hate what she's become. It's just ever since the blue auras, it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's okay. We get to play Tome again.
We could play Tom, but just just remnants. Just
don't
kill
wanna-
her, please.
You don't want to pitch 3 for 4, go again. Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't know the third one. Maybe Dash.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah,
Force
actually.
Mechnologist out of the metagame.
One of my picks is also Dash. So
All right, who wants to go next?
so because I said mine is Dromai, Dash, and Katsu. Sorry.
That's funny.
I think
We're just attacking each other over
Easy.
here.
not to attack you. I think the hero is incredibly powerful. Being able to tutor
The
multiple
double
times
tutor with Lynx
is
pretty
so
insane.
powerful. It is
Okay.
insanely
It is pretty
powerful.
cool.
And being able to tutor with Bonds of Ancestry too is so powerful.
But it's graveyard
Um,
dependent.
Yeah, but there's no fucking graveyard hate, dude. There's no fucking rest in peace. There's no Grafdigger's Cage here.
Oh, yeah, Talismanic Cremation. Calm down.
Shut
Shin's cooking with it. Let him cook.
Yeah, and then he died to a snag remembrance.
Whoa, that iteration didn't have Talismanic Cremation.
True, but he's adding more no blocks to his deck. So I'll say that, and then Dromai. I think allies are pretty busted.
Are you okay?
And then
A little spicy.
it's a rye. It's a very strong rye. And then I think Dash having so many options to play between like Tree Frog or even like full mech like Pistol Dash or just full Boost Dash or Hanabi Dash. There's so many options that you could play with Dash. I think her pool is way too big for what she had for her as a hero.
I wish there were more heroes like that. It's like
I
her
think
and
she's
Dromai.
too much though. Like if she was limited to 4 things is just way too much. Like maybe 2.5. But like
Yeah, I think of it this way. Before, like, a lot, like, Crucible meta, the way to, like, build Dash was just, like, control, chamber,
missile, right?
Exodia,
Yeah.
right? Now it's just like, okay, there's more reasonable options with, like, Navi and,
Technocore.
like, Technocore. Well,
Technical Pounder, sorry.
Technical Pounder and
That's not
Twin
true.
Drive. It opened her up, and I think she has really good armor options, too. Like, Achilles, Adapt Plating. And she had, like, the arm, the
I'm just surprised she's not
Yeah.
getting more LL points with like all the support
I feel like she does.
She's
She
more
gets,
consistent.
she gets, like,
Yeah, she's very consistent. Yeah,
she like wins random
But there's,
like
like, no
callings
spike.
and
Same with
spell
her.
hardens.
yeah. I don't know. She'll that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I
those
guess-
are my
yeah,
reasons.
I was like, Dash is like, yeah. Sometimes she just does the thing. And the other day I played against Miles' Dash. I had a huge Lynx combo turn, and I'm like, he's at like 8, and I'm like at 20, and then he's like, okay, boost, pulse wave, twin drive, pulse wave. And I'm like, and I was just like, no, please, let me finish. And then he ended up taking the game, and I was like, no. Of course, he draws the 2 pulse waves the
That's
turn
beautiful.
after, and I'm like,
Nice.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I was like so sad.
So who hurt you, Tommy?
Prison Katsu New Briar.
New Briar immediately LL. Wow.
No.
I think
Cradle to grave, huh?
I'll be the hater. I'll be the hater and say Kano first. I just it's not fun for my side of the table. That's all it is. And then Dromai, and I think Bravo is also a bit of a snooze here. I'm completely just like, what is fun when I'm on the other side of it? And I'm like, those 3 are my kind of like, all right. Like I feel like Dromai, I happen to just keep playing heroes that kind of beat her, and I'm like, that's fun. But also, it's just I came from Magic for a reason. I'm not just because like Wizards
She's
do
your
stuff.
father.
I'm like, dude, I want to play Magic. Like,
Wizards of the Coast. King's
I
a
know.
wizard. Ugh.
I know.
PTSD.
Wizards of Volcor.
I'm just gonna pick decks that I don't like to play against. Azalea, Bravo, and I guess Victor. 'Cause I just want to.
Wow.
Tola Guardian Death.
Really hit it like, oh, you just hate Dominate in general.
I hate Dominate with on hit because I don't want to have to block I just want to spam my 5-card hands. Let me play 5-card hands. You do whatever you want to do, and I want to do 5-card
It's a
hands
great
back.
dominate. You only
This
lose
is such a contrast from like Everfest meta, where everyone's like, "Oh my god, people just don't block and just run their 5-card hands. The game's so boring." This is such a contrast. Now it's like, oh, people block too much. I have to block too much. Oh,
I have to think about turn cycle value.
Yeah.
What is this?
back in the day when Viserai was playable.
Oh my god.
This is why Oliver hates it.
Thinking, planning.
Yeah, Oliver likes
He
he likes blocking, but he plays Prism, so like he doesn't get to do it half the time.
True.
Cool.
Seems, I don't know. I feel like a lot of those matchups too, like there were mentions, like the 5-card hand, whenever it happens, is the one that ends up mattering. Like, especially Bravo, I felt like with Ankana,
Mhm.
where it's just like, okay, did you do it? You know?
That's why I dislike Katsu.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
died
it's fair.
to
I
every
think it's super
5-card
fair.
hand that Carlos puts
It's a-
down.
it's a
I'm below
7-card
10.
hand, though.
Yeah,
Because it's
literally.
like it's hard across you have the links, you know? It's
True,
beautiful.
true. Yeah, 7-card
It's a
hand.
beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Make it 8
I was gonna
with
say
one,
6, but then you brought in Hardened Crossstrap. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like,
It is-
oh,
it is
here's
7-card
my
hand.
resource card. You know?
All right, France. Last one.
All right, last one.
This is the hot one. This is a
Give me a
Stagg
small sip.
Junior. This is
Junior.
the regular Stagg. I don't have enough.
Okay.
But generally, these are very, very strong. They're like 65% plus. This is a barrel purchased by a store in SF called Mason Corbeau. I love their store. They always drop some very heavy, it's very fire picks. But this is Stagg Junior. This is a barrel that they purchased and bottled for the store. This is 140 proof. So this is 70% EV.
Yeah. Extra chips.
So enjoy this fire in your mouth. I know I enjoy it, but the primary flavor for Stagg in general is just going to be cherry. Lots
Okay.
and lots of cherry. Cherry pie or cherry wood.
Thought you were gonna make a joke and say primary flavor is just gonna be spicy.
I mean, yeah, it could be. But the reason why it's last is like so that we can get accumulated to, the alcohol.
Yeah, acclimated. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. We didn't do this. In
Yeah, we forgot to do this. Okay,
I
yeah.
wanted
Cheers.
to, like,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, YOLO. This isn't bad.
Oh, that's good.
This is actually smoother than this one.
Well, it's because you got.
We worked up to it, though.
Yeah, you worked up to it.
Oh no.
If you started off with this, it would.
Oh, no.
If you started off with this, it would hurt.
Rise
'Cause, like,
is a little
even-
bit spicier.
Yeah.
There are days where I start off with this and it's like very, very spicy.
Maybe you start off. You like have a little flight every day.
No.
Little tasting
I have
fun.
like 2 or 3 sometimes, like every other day.
Just pick one at random.
Yeah. As a professional like
He has a
sommelier
rotation.
for wines.
It's
Or
when I'm
whiskeys.
watching and when I'm not playing or practicing.
Mhm.
So like most of the time.
Well, my last question is we already kind of went over it before, so I'll change up my last question. So my last question is, what do you want from the future of Fab? What do you think Fab needs, or what do you want from the game, or just either personal goals or like what do you want to see on the product line side, or you want to see it from the company organized play side, whatever you want. What do you want to do in the future for Fab, or what do you want from Fab?
I'm gonna give you the answer you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Wow.
The game is great.
Awesome.
I enjoy the game because if I set expectations and they don't follow through with it, then it's just like I'm gonna get disappointed. It's all about enjoying the game as it is right now. Every set, I have no expectations. Like this ninja set, I'm like, if it's shit, I'm happy because Katsu won't get like OP.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Since
it's
this
just
is your answer, what is
Yeah.
it? What would LSS do that would not make you enjoy the game?
Crash,
Out of it.
completely crash the game, and yeah.
Like make some broken
Just-
shit from
so-
like
yeah.
Fab 1.0
Tails
again?
3.
Yeah.
Tails
Like
3.
Starboy 2.0.
Like,
Yeah,
right.
Viserai started the show.
Even in Starboy meta, like I was just playing Kano. I was having my fun. Like you know, just I could. For me, like meta, like I could care less. I play what I have fun with, and that's that, right?
Yeah.
But, like,
I was having fun playing
how would I mess? How would they
Viserai
mess
with
it up?
Unmovable.
Yeah, I don't know how they mess it up. Like, new heroes are too good, and they just power creep all the heroes I like. I don't know.
That's
But,
fair. But it doesn't seem like that's the direction they're going, right?
I don't know. It's just like let them cook. They know what they're doing. Like I enjoy the game now. I've always enjoyed the game for like 2-3 years, whatever.
What did you start playing? Monarch?
Monarch.
Okay.
So, there's always gonna be new heroes. This is interesting. I like what they're doing. Maybe I'll like switch over, and that's that.
You know, or new heroes that you hate, like Dromai.
New heroes that I hate.
Yeah, like what if they print a new hero that you hate playing against?
I mean, that's kind of Victor, but I learned to live with it.
Okay, that's fair.
You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's also fun. Like it's a challenge. Like, how do I beat Victor? Like, I need to line up. Katsu's kind of fair and like you need to line up double bonds with tenacity at the end, whatever. But like, I don't know. It just gets your creative juices going a bit more. Like how do I beat it? How do I beat this? Like what do I need to do to beat it? Will it ever happen? I don't know.
Yeah, Patrick from Sacramento also talks about that. Only run very noob.
Yeah.
He's just like, just give him more challenges to figure out, more matchups to figure out.
Yeah, because if I just win all the time, that's no fun, right?
Mhm.
You need to
you don't,
evolve a
so
little
it's fine.
bit. I know exactly. That's why I'm still here. If I was,
If you won all the time, you would be on a different podcast.
I think in the vein of overpowered heroes, I think they're cowards for not making data dash. I would like the LL system's so perfect for that. Just let it go, you know? Yeah, data all dash. I think my wants are I want to be like lava. And I want
What does this be like lava do?
just be like water, but it says Phoenix Flame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Phoenix Form Tech?
exactly.
Yeah,
It would
Phoenix
make
Form Tech,
it fun. Specialization cards can be used.
oh,
What?
if it hits,
Yeah, you
turn
can pay
into-
one to be
into-
Phoenix Flame.
Pay one.
Yeah, I know. Make it bad.
Don't even say pay one. It's if it hits, it becomes Phoenix Flame.
Dude,
That's
screw
already
it.
too
Expansion slot. They
Oh,
can do
yeah.
it. It's a majestic.
What's a head jab? Make it a head jab.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the real thing I want is, I think with the LL system, I think it's probably my favorite part of Flesh and Blood, and I think there is kind of a gap that I think they recognize too. Post LL, like that's why they made the LL format.
Mhm.
I think I get a little tilted at the James White tweet about like LL is supposed to be like the most powerful, where the most powerful fat things happen, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I want a place for Bolton when he eventually just keeps accumulating these 4 points and is gone. Like I want Bolton to have a place like after LLs or Dromai, like even Dromai. Like obviously, I think LL will shape up and like they'll figure it out, and obviously like that meta will be there. But like at some point, there has to be a level of like, this isn't hitting the right market of like what CC's doing right now, where you can basically play any hero and do your thing. I think they need an LL format like that too, eventually. Maybe it doesn't necessarily need to happen now. That's my big want, I think.
Modern.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, but even Modern has, Modern Magic has issues in general. But like, I just mean like, give me like what we have in this meta right now, but like whatever hero you want. I don't care what they have to do it. They can ban cards. They can do whatever they need to do. I want a place where Bolton, it doesn't feel bad to play after he levels, because I can't imagine playing him against Starbuck. Like I just can't.
If
do
he
it.
ever LLs.
That that's
Before
the
he
thing, though.
LLs.
He keeps getting a few points, right? Like,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. There's so many heroes like that where it's like they're gonna eventually get there, and if they get there, it's like where are they gonna be played?
Yeah, you're not gonna play them in
Yeah,
LL, right?
there's no
Yeah,
home
sure.
for them. I want a home for every hero, So that's my big thing. I love the LL system, but that's my big.
So you want something
That's
like an extended like format?
Yeah,
between,
I want like
LL
look at the
and-
LL format, ban the top 25%, and then make that new format.
That's what expansion slots are for.
True.
After he
It's
LLs,
true.
you just release on rate.
That's true.
Yeah.
It'll just be exciting.
Wow.
Like, what are these
Cards.
10 Bolton cards I can't play the whole time?
Bolden Courage, except that he hacks for 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do the van cards
cost
knockoff?
0.
Oh, yeah, wow, amazing.
Yeah, right.
But then that also like all the
Warman.
new light warriors that aren't in LL will like benefit.
That's the
like,
problem.
Crazy.
Bolton- That's the problem.
specialization.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Warband that doesn't destroy itself. That would have been if it was 6 months ago, dude.
Yeah, I feel like every time they talk about like giving Bolton stuff, they're always like, "Oh yeah, what if Bolton got an overpowered card?" It's like, dang. But also like
That is B though.
Oliver mentioned a while back, 30 minutes ago, that who mentioned that like Dromai is the last Fab 1.0 2.0.
That was me.
Okay, that's Bolton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like-
yeah.
Yeah. The only difference is that Bolton doesn't have good cards.
Well, because he has messed up hero text, right? Like, you just can't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Fab
And
2.0 is just your hero text is your entire engine.
Mm-hmm.
And
Riptide.
Yeah, that's what I was
What's that?
saying. Toppy
Oh, it's
Riptide
Talon.
and
The Lexi
AE.
sleeves?
Yeah, it's Talon.
Dude, let's go.
Talon only plays Riptide.
That's awesome.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
a Riptide.
playable hero.
Oh, it's not even the guy with the Lexi sleeve. Cringe.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
I think I agree with that.
France, Dan, what do you want for the future of Fab, or your future in Fab?
I want more concrete communication in terms of like qualifications for tournaments. I think
fair.
they're still very wishy-washy on the dates for like Nats and Next Pro Tour and like ELO qualifications. That's just a minor thing. I think they've done a significant job improving upon that. I love the LSS dev talks. But otherwise, I think they're in a really good direction right now. And I don't think there's much more I can ask.
Yeah.
One thing before.
Make Viz
Dan
make
goes-
make Viz right great again, please.
Yeah.
No, last time I asked that,
Reverse
don't
warmongers.
do it.
the last time you asked this, I asked for an alternate win condition, and they gave us Arachne with Regicide, and I was like, they did it.
Okay, so when you ask for stuff, they give you the bad version. When I ask for stuff, they give us the good version.
So one other thing, I wish they announced dates of events a little bit later, sooner.
Sooner.
Yeah.
Sooner.
So, like,
Yeah.
The prime
Later.
example is that the
Sooner
Japan calling.
Japan calling definitely felt like there wasn't enough time for a lot of people to plan.
Yeah, so like I have a Japan trip the 5 days after the calling, and I'm like, if I had known, I would have just like gone a week before.
Yeah.
And I can't like refund or all this stuff, so I can't make it. So like I wish they just give them like 4 or 5 months. That was like a 3-month buffer between.
Yeah.
Right. So like just a little bit more
Mhm.
time to prep, and I think that's I think Arsenal Pass talks about that a lot sometimes. Because also they also people who travel a lot, like they.
You need to figure out.
There's a lot of moving pieces, and you can't always make every event. Well, like also like don't go to every event; you'll burn out. But like
Or beat Brody.
just pick your moments, right? Like but make it easier for people to plan those special moments where they can travel and play the world, right? Yeah.
I'll be the limited stand at the table.
Yeah.
I think they knocked it out of the park with heavy hitters.
Mhm.
It's a great draft format that people that say they don't like draft still enjoy it. It's a playable sealed format where there isn't just one hero that you should almost always be. You justifiably play one hero from every class depending on your pool. I want more limited events.
Yep.
And I think it was a little bit of a bait and switch that ProQuest is CC only.
Yeah, I absolutely think
also
that's a
agree
tragedy.
with that.
Especially when they're touting heavy hitters as the best draft format they've made.
And a deathmatch arena.
But
Yeah.
also the fact that they put
They
the ELO
changed the
together.
plans. I think.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no draft like limited ELO for ProQuest.
I'm actually okay with that though. I like that they have combined.
I like that it's combined,
Yeah.
but it's like it's a little I don't like it when we don't get drafted to play.
Yeah.
You know?
So funny story about this draft set. When World San Jose was in San Jose, when I was in San Jose, I like went to talk to the line to meet James White. Kudos to James White, by the way. He was there. I waited in line for 3 hours. I don't think I ever saw the guy get food or go to the
Oh
bathroom.
man.
Like straight like
So he's-
consecutively talking to people, signing things. Next, like props.
He's really-
guy's
So like
a
he was,
machine.
yeah, he's a machine. So huge respect to him. And so I waited my 3 hours with a friend. We talked to him, and my friend just kind of like at the time it was Uprising Draft in Worlds, and at the time like people were just tired of it because I can agree like Uprising Draft was like overplayed, and people were tired of it. And he was just like my friend was kind of complaining about it, and James White was like, oh, like we'll have like a draft set in the future that'll be a lot like Welcome to Wraith.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, now that I see like heavy hitters, this was the set he was talking about.
Yeah.
And it's cool how he has like the full circle moment where like kind of comes in on his word. He even talked about like an all arcane set. Who knows if that'll actually happen? But like,
Not for that.
yeah, we'll see how that shapes
Yeah,
up. Like,
Wimpy Wizards. That's next set.
Wimpy
the next
Wizards,
set.
yeah, yeah.
Part of it. This film.
make Surgeon Aethertide useful.
We're gonna get Wizard, Illusionist, and Runeblade. That's it.
That's what I thought this set was gonna be.
Yeah, same here. That's what I want. Just the last three to complete the whole cycle of all the classes in the game.
You go on record and call him the Abe Lincoln of TCGs.
Wait, what?
Oh, James White, the Abe Lincoln of TCGs.
I can see it.
What does that mean?
I don't
It
know.
means he's gonna get shot.
Wow! Yichin, don't put that evil out there. Jesus Christ!
I don't know where you're going with that.
Oh my
I was
god!
like, what's a stand-up guy?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I know that back during that season, they were straight up saying like, we understand that people are tired of Uprising. We think that 2 competitive seasons with a draft format is too much. I feel like they applied it at the exact moment people turned around on how they thought about draft in general for FAB, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I agree. I think they absolutely should have done more. Maybe not like maybe they can reduce the amount of draft PQs, but you still want some amount of draft PQs.
But I think they made an adjustment well with like certain season we just had Monarch draft, right? And now that their like schedule of like releasing sets is getting like, you know, more shorter, they can freshen up the draft limited format quicker. So I think they did a good job of like pivoting and listening to like the overall players.
That's why I'm excited. It's heavy. I'm so excited.
You good?
Nice.
Uh-oh. You spilled?
Yep. I spilled.
Anything on the carpet?
Yes, it definitely did go.
All right, so
Nice.
we're not editing this out because Oliver never edits this out. It's not to fill dead air. Oliver, do you know Oliver was just complaining about how much people had to talk to fill dead air? Now Oliver has to realize how awkward this would be if I just sat in silence and watched Oliver, and you watched me watch Oliver clean up a spill on the carpet you can't see.
But we can watch the Riptide game.
Yeah.
The background Riptide game. How's he doing? He's winning.
I don't know how much this whiskey costs, but it's probably pretty expensive. Yeah.
Do you want a price of how much I paid for it?
I mean, it would be nice to see some perspective after we drank some.
400, 100, 100, 150, 600, 400.
Oh shoot.
Damn. This is more than my CC deck combined.
That's not much.
One of
Yeah,
my
how
CC.
Yeah,
many of them are more?
They're not blinked.
Just one.
It's not blinged out. So yeah. Is it more than Oliver's? That's the question.
No, hell
Whoa.
no, hell no. Oliver has a heart of final in his
He's
deck.
not running it.
I'm not running it.
Yeah.
Really?
Not right now.
You have less life though.
How many times am I getting the pitch stack as Prism?
Once.
Clearly not enough.
Think
Yeah,
about
the
Look,
longer
against-
the game goes, the Prism just goes up to
Against Kano, it. Wait, no, Kano starts less life. Never mind.
hard to find a little gaining life.
Well, it's like she's got her hat and then she doesn't.
Your main thing is that it doesn't draw a card off of Genesis.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think that's about wraps it up. Anything else you guys want to say to the general crowd, or in general thoughts about the season, next season, us, each other, the locals?
Happy birthday to Yichin.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Yichin.
birthday.
He's finally 21. He can drink. If anyone sees me at any of the big events, I always bring whiskey with me. So,
You do?
yes, I do.
Into the venue?
Not into the venue.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say.
Yeah, I was about to say like
I'm always
a little
open to
refreshing.
share a whiskey. Always open to share whiskey.
It's true. I roomed with him last at Vegas, so I can't confirm. He
Yeah,
does
you know.
drink.
Yeah, we had menu guests like
We
every
did,
night.
we did,
right?
we did,
Yeah.
we did.
Whiskey at a battle harder or PTI event doesn't sound like a bad time.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
you know, you're in the dumps a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you 2-5 the cola.
Or
and
you're
come,
like,
come drink
you
whiskey
know,
with me.
Your brain's a little fried. You just need a little
Pick me
boost,
up?
a little
Yeah.
creative boost to
Yeah.
not get you tunnel vision. You know.
Looking all over the place.
Like,
except if you're like starving and you haven't eaten, then don't do that.
Then yeah,
But, like,
please eat something
please
first.
eat.
Yes.
Hydrate.
I don't want you to pass out on the hotel floor. You know.
Oliver will
Just
be-
like throw up in the middle of a streamed game, like that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my
So that'd be a first.
This is the only reason why I can see you. Brian Gottlieb follows me on Twitter. So Brian Gottlieb, if you are watching this, please come to me and I'll give you whiskey. Just because you're cool and I remember you from Magic Days. So
Are you gonna ask him to make your class better? Are you gonna ask him to make like your favorite deck playable? What's the point?
all my decks are
Oh shit, my decks are not playable. All right, well, that's about it.
Yeah.
Signing
See
off
you
now.
at PTLA.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
those
see
of you
you
guys
guys
who are
at
going to
PTLA.
PTL, you'll see.
I
you
gotta
guys.
edit this, and then
You don't edit this.
We saw you at PTLA.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw you. Hopefully.
It's good to see you.
Yep. Good to see you. Yeah, nice seeing you again. All right.